Hi, I'm Lisa, the Survival Mom, and today I want to talk to you about a topic that I've been pondering for a long time, a few months now. And if you call yourself a prepper, if you consider yourself to be a survivalist, this is a concept that you've heard of before. And not all of my followers and readers and listeners are into prepping, and that's fine. So if this is new to you, you might want to just listen to it because it's kind of interesting. But it's the concept of the gray man. And it could be a gray woman. And this is not someone elderly. It's not someone who necessarily dresses in all gray, but it's a concept of blending in. And when you hear preppers and survival type people talk about the gray man, they're just talking about blending in with the crowd. And there are two ways to do that blending. But that's only part of my video today. The other part, and I may have to do this as a two-parter, my other part is to talk about the gray man versus the insider. Because I've had a little bit of experience on both sides, and there's something to be said for being an insider. And I will get to that in the second part of this video or in part two of a later video. But the gray man concept is blending in. If you are to look at a crowd of people, if you're at a mall and you're just sitting there people watching, if you're at Disneyland and you're just people watching, if you're just in the office and people are coming and going, a gray man or woman blends in. You don't really even notice anything. You don't really notice them. It's kind of goes along with the reports we see sometimes. Someone has committed a really heinous crime, and when the reporters come to interview that person's coworkers and that person's neighbors, a lot of times what do they say? He just seemed like a nice guy. He was just average, he didn't seem, cruel, or there was really nothing about them that made me think that they could commit a crime like this. Well, that person was just kind of blending in, maybe not on purpose. Becoming the gray man is making a conscious choice to blend in. You don't want to draw attention. So the first level of that, of being the gray man or woman, and I'm going to just say gray man, just so I don't get confused and it goes back and forth. It's the concept that matters, not the gender in this video. But the gray man would just dress in a way just to blend in. My husband is just like, without even really trying, he just is the gray man. And he's worn the same type and style of Levi's jeans forever. He's been married 19 years, and I've tried to get him into something trendier without any luck. So he has been wearing the same type of jeans. You would just never give him a second look. He wears shirts, the navy, 50 Shades of Gray, that's kind of his closet. Nothing really outstanding in the way he dresses, and so he really does blend in. If you've ever been on a vacation or you've traveled someplace, maybe on business, a few years ago I went on a business trip to Baltimore, and we were told, in this area, don't go out after 9, and if you do go out, just kind of blend in. You don't want to wear expensive jewelry, and you don't want to look ultra fashionable. If you have a $2,500 handbag, you might want to just leave that at home. So, or back at the hotel in that case. I don't have a $2,500 handbag, but the concept was you're going into this area and you want to blend in, because if you don't blend in, you may very well find yourself drawing attention that you don't want, and perhaps end up being the victim of some kind of a crime. Well, the idea is you just blend in. The way you dress isn't anything that would cause someone to take another look at you. I know that a lot of women, young women, girls, it's kind of maybe in our nature, we want to draw attention because we want to be seen as really cute, or, I have the cutest outfit, I'm going to go out to the mall, I'm going to wear this. The gray concept is that you just don't do that. If you're going to someone's house maybe, but, out in the general public, if this is your choice to make, you are just dressing, pretty plainly. And that could be just, t-shirts and, some kind of nondescript pants. And that is a concept that a lot of people have chosen to do. I know that one man, he went into great detail on, what his kind of a uniform, what it was. And that was a decision he decided to make. he could dress in trendier clothes. He could dress, in a way, wearing more expensive clothes. But he's just decided, you know what, I'm going to get my clothes from Target. I'm going to wear the same kind of jeans. And part of this is blending in. So, for example, if you go to some upscale mall, you'll draw a whole lot more attention if you walk in looking like a homeless person. So it depends on where you are. That really is a smart thing to do, whether you call yourself, a prepper, or whether you're thinking of, safety, survival, and so on. But the gray man is kind of a long-term, it's kind of a long game. It's not something that's just, I'm going to be the gray man today, and then tomorrow I'm going to wear, whatever, is fashionable at the moment. The other part of being the gray man or woman is the behavior. And this is what is interesting to me, because if you're going to blend in, are you going to blend in, let's say you're wearing the t-shirt and jeans, like my husband, usually wears, and you're going to a workplace where everybody has way opposite views about politics and culture, education. Everything is way different from you. Well, you're hardly going to be the gray man if you walk in, you're blending in, with your appearance, but you have, signs and photos and so on in your cubicle that, are radically different from everybody else around you. One description I read of the gray man many years ago was that this fictionalized person, he would blend in. Even to the point of having on the back of his car the bumper sticker that would blend in with, the community that he happened to live in. And so if you are not an Obama supporter, but everybody else in your workplace is, everybody in your community is, maybe you live in, an area where he is just like a big hero. Well, do you really want to put, some of those stickers if you're going for the gray man approach? Not everybody wants to do that. So that's another layer. It's not only just the way you dress, it's also your appearance. And it's also your behavior. And, sometimes, if you're in discussions with people, and you're finding out, yeah, I'm really in the minority here. Well, all of us, that's happened to me many times, not just, with religion or politics, a lot of times it's cultural. Do I really want to get in a fight with these people? And I've been known to get on the internet, and type like crazy, over some issue or another with some unknown person. But it's another thing if, maybe my job depends on me just not stirring the pot, and just not rocking the boat. And so the gray man concept is not just the way you dress. It could also be the way that you act and the expression, the opinions and the ideas that you express. Some people who have very strong opinions would find that reprehensible. They would feel that, I am not going to disguise who I am. I'm not going to pretend that my opinions are something that they are not. All of this is a conscious choice. And so the gray man, if that person or woman is a prepper, they're into survival, they may adopt that identity because they don't want to draw attention to maybe their beliefs about being ready for worst case scenarios and so on. Maybe they just don't want to deal with, explanations. Maybe they just don't want to deal with people saying, I'm coming over to your house, which, in reality, maybe could happen. Now, here's the flip side. And this is what I've been thinking about. A while ago, I took a class with in a nearby county, and it was a CERT class, and lots of different experts were brought in, and I have done some additional training besides that, running through that first initial class. And since then, I have gotten on some email lists, and I find out ahead of time when something bad is going on. I find out ahead of time if, some big weather warning. And I'm kind of in, not the inner loop, that's for sure, but I'm in the loop. I'm getting this information. My husband had said that when we moved from Arizona to where we are now, he said, I think I might want to, volunteer with the fire department. I might want to volunteer with, the police department in some way or another, partly, as a community service, but partly, he had said, I kind of want to be in there so I'll start hearing things. And if something's going down, if there are some big plans, if I need to know, if I would want to know something as an insider, I will know that. And so there is something to be said for not being the gray man. I guess you could be a gray man and an insider at the same time. And it would work the opposite way too. But there's something to be said for cultivating that insider status, and it could be by doing volunteer work. It could be our county has a like a citizen police group. They have classes that meet once a week for a few months, and for sure you would get a lot of information, even in just offhand comments. When I was taking the CERT classes, I would just, they would, the person from Homeland Security who was a prepper, or someone from, the fire department or the FBI or whoever was, the instructors were, sometimes they would just make offhand comments, and my ears would kind of perk up. So, if you've been thinking, I don't want to tell anybody that I'm into prepping. I don't want anybody to know, that this is something I take seriously. I try to blend in. I keep my mouth shut. Well, in what ways could you maybe also become an insider? And I know one friend of mine, she didn't want to take the CERT classes because she didn't want her name or her email out there in those circles. But there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have gone through CERT classes, and in some careers, it's required. So I didn't see that as a huge, personal information issue for myself. But looking to see, how could I get into a circle? And it might be just by friendships. If you have a friend we've had friends in the past who were in, one area of law enforcement or federal agencies or another, and that's another way of maybe, getting some inside information. I mean, if something big is coming down the pike, wouldn't you want to have an advance notice of that? And I think a lot of times when we think about the gray man concept, we think about just kind of totally removing ourselves from that, a world, a community, a source of information that could be, in fact, really, really beneficial. So, food for thought. My friend Fernando Aguirre, who has a really busy YouTube channel, The Modern Survivalist, he had a video about the gray man, not just recently, and so you might want to go and I haven't watched the video yet. I don't want to watch something when I know that I'm going to be writing about a topic or talking about a topic. I just try to put my own thoughts together, and I don't want to, go watch what he says, and then all of a sudden I'm, parroting what Fernando says. It might be the other way around. Maybe Fernando's watching my videos and coming up with ideas. Visit his website, The Modern Survivalist, and he has written a couple of books now. His second one just came out recently, and he's someone who speaks from a lot of experience, and I appreciate his very down-to-earth way of looking at things. If you're looking for, someone who's into, wild-eyed conspiracy theories, he may give you his take on that, but that is not really what Fernando and The Modern Survivalist is all about. So he did do a video recently on the gray man, and so you might want to watch that. So there you go. Just maybe food for thought. Gray man versus insider. Can you do both? This is Lisa Bedford. I will have another video for you soon because I already have a topic in mind, and I will catch you the next time around.